So we had Backlash, which means that was the Backlash to WrestleMania, which means tonight is the Backlash to the Backlash of WrestleMania? WrestleMania Backlash. No, it just doesn't work.
Everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. And anyone should tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere I go, I'm always on my own. Can anyone just catch me before I drown? Can anybody make me feel like I'm not the stranger tonight?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TW 2020 the game, but 2004 database. As the 04 war continues, the network set between me and my good friend Stuart Irvine. He is the blue side, I am the red side, and we are flying past Backlash now. We had a pretty good pay-per-view. Shawn Michaels kept hold of his WWE Championship. We also had Eddie Guerrero keep hold of the World Championship over on Smackdown. Rob Van Dam with the US title. Lots of good things happening on the show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. And hopefully we can continue that. This is where things get a little bit wild now as we head towards Judgment Day. And then they get even wilder for the Great American Bash. Let's see what happens with Monday Night Raw first. Drop a like on the video now. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you are ready to go for it. And yeah, Monday Night Raw. Let's go. Okay, Monday Night Raw. We're on the pre-show to kick us off. High Risk getting a win over Kyo Dai. I don't know how you say that, but we're going to go with it. Akio and Sakoda. Spanky pins Sakoda with sliced bread number 2. Paul London carries it. This is fine.
Yeah,
56 for this is fine.
Yeah, I said High Risk looking, getting good scores. I no offense to the other team, but I'm not going to try and pronounce their names. But yeah, I mean, again, they're getting, what was it 45?
London getting a 60 is very impressive.
I mean, I would suggest like maybe at some point put them in a singles match, see if that works.
Maybe. London 2004 was on a roll, to be fair. So
they were good then. They were good in 04. So
let's
cool.
see. Second pre-show match, another tag match. The Filthy Animals team together for a 69 against Nunzio and Rob Conway. Yes, Rey Mysterio working the pre-show this week, but for this great performance from Rey Mysterio carries this one. 78 on the pre-show. Jeez.
I mean, not spoiling anything, but I can see why he's in the pre-show, but we'll get into that later on. But the way he's cooking out 78, that's good. I mean, Kidman 61, that's pretty good as well. So it's got potential, that tag team, when you want to, whatever you have planned with them.
Well, we're going to start to pair them together now, Kidman and Mysterio. That is the plan after last night where Rey's Cruiserweight Championship opportunity failed. I think putting him in the tag team division could be a very good thing. He's not. There's a lot of young baby faces on this roster. You've got John Cena. You've got, Shawn Michaels is champion right now. There's lots of people in certain positions, Booker included. Rey in the tag division might work. We're making a bit of a tag division tonight anyway. There'll be more on that.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, it just sounds like he's moving up the ranks. He's gone for the cruiserweight now. He's going to the tag division. Then if it works well, then he moves up and up and up. So it feels like to me anyway. So it's good.
Yeah. Let's say 69. Good stuff. Let's open the show though with in-ring competition because I can't believe it's Monday Night Raw. John Cena against Tajiri for 79. John Cena. Wow.
So what was it 76 there?
76 from Cena. Tajiri 54. Cena getting a 79 out of Tajiri. He's very impressive. Only 6 minutes or so. We didn't give it a lot of time. Didn't need a lot of time. Good stuff. Cena wins. FU. Exactly what you'd expect, to be honest. Exactly what you'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the old saying, short and sweet does the job.
Yeah. Just to put over Cena. Cena will start a storyline tonight, as you'll see. But 79. Good stuff. We then go backstage to the office of the general manager, the Macho Man, Randy Savage, joined by JBL for an 83. Considering it's just Savage and JBL really in this segment, Michael's off screen, it's not bad. JBL says, look, let's talk about the WWE Championship. Let's talk about the fact that Shawn Michaels walked away with the title last night. Fair play to him. But you know who's been on a roll recently? The wrestling god, John Bradshaw Layfield. You know the man who's beaten Finlay into submission week after week. And quite frankly, it would be a disgrace if the wrestling god isn't the next challenger. And you know what? Randy Savage actually agrees. Savage is going to respect the wins here from JBL, who has been totting up those wins slowly. And Randy Savage says, you know what? You're right. That's why at Judgment Day, it'll be JBL versus Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship. We're setting it up early, right? That will be the match, confirmed. The build to it is going to be interesting.
I'm not saying a word.
JBL then says he's going to the ring right now to tell Shawn Michaels that his reign is over. So 83, this is backstage, and then we'll do an in-ring thing. Yeah.
83, I mean.
Early.
Yeah, I mean, with JBL, I mean, he's done a great job with JBL. Like, he was on 60s or something at some point when he started this, and now look at him, I don't know what he's actually scored. We'll obviously check after later on, but to get to be in a segment and get an 83 with the Macho Man Randy Savage, that's pretty awesome. So,
and what I quite like about this is that usually with your babyface GM, you'd be like, no, the heel's got to work for it. But look, you look at Randy Savage's career and his character in the 80s and 90s. Randy Savage, like, he was heel at time, and he will put over the results. This is a results business, is what we're trying to say with this. In a way, get off my back, AEW. Anyway, JBL, he's picked up some wins. You know, he retired Farouk. He won the best of 3 series against Finlay, admittedly by cheating, but he won. Now he's going after the championship. It just seems right in the summer of 2004.
I mean, it's JBL. It's JBL.
It's the wrestling god, but he's not quite done. He's not quite done tonight. So
he's more okay. We're intrigued to see.
So JBL says he's going to go out to the ring. He does. He calls out Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels comes out to the ring for a face-to-face, and JBL rips into Shawn Michaels. He says this is a man who shouldn't have even returned. He should have stayed at home with his little 2 kids, or 3 kids, how many kids he's got, and his little wife, and his little Jesus, and just stay there. You shouldn't have come in to the business where the wrestling god is now ready to take control. JBL says Shawn Michaels, 1, is a fake Texan, harsh, and 2, a fake champion. But don't worry, that ends because of Judgment Day, Shawn, the clock's ticking. Shawn has enough, right? Shawn has enough, attacks JBL, but JBL gets saved by Brock Lesnar. 95 for the segment, very good. Brock runs out, attacks Shawn Michaels as Shawn is attacking JBL. He lays out Shawn Michaels with the F5. JBL gets in Brock Lesnar's face, and the 2 men shake hands. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has joined JBL.
Oh no, that can't be good. That's never good.
He's joined the cabinet. We're going to go with that's what it was, right? We're going to make a different sort of cabinet, but it includes now JBL, Brock Lesnar, and Orlando Jordan.
I don't know how to describe that. It's different. I'm just going to say it's different. That's all I'm going to say. It's a very different cabinet.
Look, I wasn't planning necessarily for Brock to stay after WrestleMania. It's great that he has, so I've come up with something. And Brock Lesnar, as JBL's paid heavy for a little while, he's going to boost JBL, isn't it? As you can see, 95 for a segment with JBL involved.
Not bad.
Bon appetit. And a big angle. Big angle. Okay. I still can't believe I'm doing this. Brock and Jay, it's just so odd. Anyway, the Knockout Artists arrived backstage celebrating after winning the WWE World Tag Team titles last night for a 74. Gene Okerlund interrupts them now and says, listen, you better not get too crazy here, boys, because I've just received word that you'll be defending those tag team titles tonight in the main event against the Brothers of Destruction. As you can imagine, the champs are not happy. The Brothers of Destruction are asked, they've asked for their rematch, and Randy Savage has granted it tonight for a big main event. 74 though, I'll take it. Jamie Noble, 74, it's madness.
There's a joke in there. It's when you every time you say madness, you got to say macho madness. It's got to be said. It has to be said. But yeah, Sonny thought it's good. It's good. It's good.
Right, let's go back to in-ring action. Booker T takes on Mark Jindrak for an 80. Good stuff. Booker T really carrying it, of course. Jindrak is a lower mid-card heel. Why is it said a handful of the tights? That is not what I booked at all. Right, okay. I was originally going to have Mark Jindrak beat Booker T here, but Booker was very much not happy with it, so I came up with something else because I didn't want to destroy the morale. So here Booker beats Jindrak, but what I've got written here is that Garrison Cade failed to interfere. He tried to get involved, it backfired on the heels, and Booker got the win. It's the post-match segment that's going to be important. Now, 80 for the match, and post-match, Booker T, look, the numbers game is against him. 2-on-1, he gets beaten down and powerbombed through the announce table for a 59. What I expected with Jindrak and Cade, but we've got to start pushing them a bit and putting them with a higher style like Booker T might be able to carry them is where we go in. There's more to it, you'll see, but yeah, 59, not a good night for Booker T, clearly.
Oh no! I mean, to be fair, this is the one that's got Eric Bischoff as the manager, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got with him as a mouthpiece, you've got to start pushing him a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 59 is fine. Right, backstage, John Cena is cutting a promo talking about his future when he's interrupted by a backstage attack, talking about numbers 2-on-1. Matt Hardy and Shannon Moore attack John Cena for again another 59. So similar sort of level storyline right now, which is what I expected. Yeah. Team attitude, lay out the rising babyface. Jealous, perhaps? Matt Hardy, jealous? Because this is meant to be his role in 2004. It's not really happening for Matt Hardy in this save so far, so he's potentially making his own luck. Potentially. 59. Oh. Fine. Right, Finlay then versus A-Train is the next in-ring action for 68. This is your Wild Brawl of the night, and he did very, very well. The in-ring stuff has been pretty good so far. Finlay, 58. A-Train, 62. So a similar sort of mid-card level. And yeah, Finlay beats A-Train with a Celtic knot. Sure.
I need to find out what that move is, just by curiosity, but he won. He beat him with it. We need to find out what that move is after. That's intrigue.
Yeah, big segment afterwards. It's a theme of the night, really. Booker T, numbers game, caught up with him, he got beaten down. John Cena, numbers game, caught up with him, he got beaten down. Dave Finlay, numbers game, caught up with him, and he was getting beaten down until the return of Sir William Regal. That's right, Regal is back, runs out, saves Finlay. Why? Well, I don't know, I guess we'll see. We'll find out with that one. We're turning Regal face, we're bringing him back. He's finally allowed to return in game, so yeah. We're going to make him a baby face because he was a heel by the looks of it. But he did have a face run in 04, so it's realistic. And yeah, hopefully the fans have popped. 64 for the mid-card angle is pretty good. Finlay and Regal together, as well you can see I've named the British Brawlers. Oh yes. Oh yes, indeed.
I mean, I was thinking the court. Like, I don't know why. Like, thinking of the court has returned. Because obviously the thing with Booker T.
They hadn't done the court at this point, so I'm not going to...
Yeah, I think that's what it was called, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's more of a heel name, I suppose, the court. But yeah, I know what you mean. I'm going to go with British Brawlers, and yeah, they will be a big boost to the tag division. Regal, hopefully, is a guy we can push to the next level. So let's get him turned to a babyface, which his new badass gimmick is fine, and the turn was a complete success. So that's good. Regal's back. More on him later on, maybe next week actually. Okay, Chavo Guerrero is backstage with Matt Morgan by his side, as you'd expect, and talking about the cruiserweight division. And he's talking about the fact that, you know what, now he's champion, now he's beaten Rey Mysterio, and Rey and Billy Kidman seem to be worrying about being a tag team. What's left for the cruiserweight division? Who's left to step up to the cruiserweight champion Chavo Guerrero? And Guerrero ask someone to step up here. So I'm kind of playing it quite loose here, in the sense of, I know once I've taken Rey out of this cruiserweight division and Kidman was the second babyface, there's not a lot in that cruiserweight division. I need to build it. So we're going to lay that into the story. Chavo wants a challenge. Let's see who's going to step up going forward, basically. 68 is pretty good for Chavo, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it was said that obviously win against Reyes really helped him. His score in general, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if it's like anything with that kind of storyline. It's like, yeah, if it's a problem, work it into the story. Why not?
So that's what we're trying to do. Okay, backstage, Mean Gene approaches the beaten down from earlier Booker T. It's only at 59. He's quite disappointed, actually. I thought it would do better, but it hasn't. He says, you know what? It seems like tonight that something's in the water, Mean Gene says. But, I mean, look at Finlay and Regal. Maybe Booker, maybe you need a friend. And Booker seems to have an idea, pulls out his phone and leaves the scene. Booker T needs a friend.
If whoever that could be, we'll find out. But I mean, they've got to be honest. One thing I love at wrestling, they should do more. Is just actual people phoning people during live shows. We seem to be doing a lot of that recently.
Yeah.
People actually ringing people.
Now, I'm not bringing back Harlem Heat. I'll call it now.
Oh,
I'm
God.
not doing it. There is a plan in place. If I can get the person, we'll see. 59. Good.
I've got guesswork, but I'm not going to say a word.
Right. Backstage, Brothers of Destruction are talking about the Tag Team Championship match tonight. Now, look, after last night and last week being thrown off the stage and then losing the titles last night, Kane says, look, Taker, brother, you're not 100%. Why are we doing this tonight? We could have this shot any other time. Why tonight? And Taker says, quite simply, the match is happening because Taker wants to fight. But Taker's not 100% still. Remember that. Brock has done some damage to Taker lately. And you can imagine that Kane isn't happy about it. 77. Let's see how that goes into the main event later. Of course, last night, Kane cost Brock Lesnar the WWE Championship with the fire in the face. So there'll be more. 77.
Find out.
Okay, 6-man action. Let's see if this... to be honest, most matches tonight have hit pretty well. Let's see if this does the same. Evolution in 6-man action against Hurricane, Rosie and Ultimo Dragon, because I needed a face team for them to beat. And they do so for an 81. So yeah, that's pretty good. Getting an 81 out of Rosie.
I mean, I'm just glad to see Hurricane and Rosie back after kind of being absent for a while. I haven't seen them as much.
Look at the performances on the heel team, by the way. 88 Orton, 88 Batista, 87 Flair. That is what you want to see from your upper mid-card heel stable.
I mean, wouldn't it worry you so much if Triple H was to be part of that group and Neville got they're getting those kind of numbers? My. That would be crazy. But
yeah, Randy Orton gets the pin on Rosie with the RKO. This is just a win to get Evolution going and to lead into the next segment for Orton. Now, next week, Randy Orton defends the Intercontinental Championship against the King, Jerry Lawler, after Jerry Lawler won the Battle Royal at Backlash. This week, after the match, Randy Orton is a guest on the King's Court.
I can't believe you chose Jerry King with Intercontinental title feud. I mean, I'm intrigued to see what you do with it, but I mean, okay.
Well, you say the Intercontinental title feud. Is it? Because the King's Court happens, Orton's a guest on it, and it looks like Evolution are going to put the boot to Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler looks like he's going to talk his way into trouble when here comes Goldberg for an 86. Goldberg comes out. Well, I say Goldberg comes out, his music hits, and Orton then says to Batista, says to Flair, cut him off. Go up the top of the aisle, cut him off. Don't let him through. But Goldberg's smarter than that. Goldberg saw that coming. Goldberg has come through the crowd, slipped in the ring, and speared Randy Orton out of nowhere. It has not gone how Orton expected here. Orton thought, you know what, Lawler can have his jokes and then we'll beat the hell out of him and he won't even get a match next week. Oh, Lawler gets the match and Goldberg seems to be, well, on Jerry Lawler's side. 86 for this is really good, by the way.
That's right. I mean, no surprise with Evolution, all the people in it, but all I'm saying, I'm worried now because Goldberg's in Jerry the King Lawler's corner, if that's what you're implying, then, you wouldn't, would you?
Would I? Oh.
Well, see, we'll find out next week, but no.
Okay.
Don't. I implore you, don't do it.
Let's see.
Don't do it.
Okay. Shawn Michaels cuts a promo on JBL and Brock Lesnar backstage. He says, you know what, JBL thinks he's protected by the Beast Incarnate. Right, okay. But here's the thing, you may be protected JBL, but you will never be WWE champion. Shawn Michaels coming out fighting for the 84. Just for the main event, let's announce some matches. I haven't got it in game, but I'll tell you now. Next week, we're going to do Ray and Kidman, so the Filthy Animals versus TNA. We're going to do Shawn Michaels versus Orlando Jordan. That's a test for Orlando. And of course, like we just said, Randy Orton versus Jerry Lawler for the Intercontinental title. Okay, before the main event, we go backstage to JBL and Brock Lesnar. And JBL tells Brock Lesnar, good, you were good earlier. Now, go and take care of your business. What does that mean? What does that mean ahead of the tag titles? Basically, is what we're going for. 84. Right, let's put the titles on the line then. And I didn't mention this earlier, but I probably should have done. This isn't just a normal match. Although I don't think I did put the rules. Either way, it's meant to be a tornado tag street fight for the tag team titles. Okay,
it's the best thing. It's the best thing to do. Really, to put people involved. It'll make it a better match. So I get it.
I don't know if I've done it in game though. So let's see if it even matters. But in story, that's what we're doing. So let's see who walks out tag team champions. Will the Brothers of Destruction win it back? Your winners and still WWE World Tag Team Champions, the Knockout Artists, because of Brock. Goddamn! Oh, the main event sucked. Because of Brock Lesnar. The main event let us down here. And I'm assuming it's Jamie Noble because The Undertaker's put in a 99.
It looks like it says really off his game there. I mean, this game.
Yeah,
This game does this, doesn't it? So we've had it. How many times have I had perfect example my Eddie Guerrero Triple H thing where it's like that should have been at least way higher, but sometimes this game doesn't reward us.
It is going to affect the rating because we are on main event spotlight, but that's okay. The Knockout Ice then retain the title. The Big Show pins The Undertaker as well, by the way. Just saying. Ignore the ropes for leverage. Again, I don't know why that's on there when I definitely put interference, but hey-ho. Basically what happens is Brock Lesnar comes down to brawl with Kane. They brawl up the all the way, leaving a weakened Taker against Show and Noble and well. Yeah.
So as you said, for the theme going for the entire night. Double teaming on people. And yeah, we can Taker gets pinned. Knockout Artists retain the titles. Brother of Destruction, you would think, are probably done with the titles, but Kane is not done with Brock Lesnar. Surely not. We'll find out more on that next week. 77. It's going to affect the show rating. So Monday Night Raw gets an 86 still. To be fair, it's very similar to what I got last week. You know, like where. All kind of good segments, good highlight, 80s and that. But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, for the level we're going at, 86 is like, I think, that's our lowest level. I think we've been on.
Well, so, I mean, the thing is, this is a build the lower mid card month. Like Mark Jindrak, Finlay, A-Train. Look at these faces in the match, by the way. Look at the fact that we're doing Team Mattitude as a proper thing again. We got to build some guys up. WrestleMania's gone. WrestleMania's out now.
Yeah.
So you can't just do the biggest matches you've got. You've got to let's build some guys up for the next WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you're doing is probably, I could say maybe I'm going a similar route. Obviously, we'll find out next anyway. But you kind of see what you're doing month one. You're trying to build up there, but now it's like, okay, you've done all the WrestleMania stuff. Now it's like got to start building up for the next pay per view, the next big pay per view, obviously SummerSlam. So you got to do that. So yeah, I've got a feeling we're not going to. Both of us hopefully won't be getting like big numbers, or it'd be so close again.
Let's see.
I think we're doing similar stuff. So
let's see. Smackdown. Okay, Smackdown kicks off in the pre-show. Rikishi getting a win over Rodney Mack. Two big men, but the big ass wins it. Rikishi driver. Rikishi wins. 60 for him. Carries it with a 54. He's one of those talents for you, Rikishi, is that you could just put him out there in the mid-card to have a match like this and it would be fine. You know what I mean? He could put a 54 on in the mid-card with a good main event and you've not got a problem.
Yeah, I think the thing with Rikishi, I have to admit, he has kind of been a utility player in the sense.
But I think he should be in 2004. It's his last year in the company, right? I think by this point he's gone, isn't he?
Yeah, I just feel I could think of something else. I mean, obviously, I've still got obviously you still got a feud with Mark Henry that could happen sooner rather than later. Obviously not could happen again, but yeah, I mean, but
Sorry, did you say a feud with Rikishi and Mark Henry? Sorry, you've killed him. Vince.
which you make it sound like this is like being a thing that's just he just thought of this on the fly. It's like no, it's like you don't pay attention to my show. That hurts. That hurts.
Right. Second pre-show match. Hardcore Holly gets a win over Stevie Richards, 53. Again, similar sort of thing. Hardcore Holly. He's a good utility player. They had good chemistry there, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, Stevie Richards though. I mean, obviously we've used him a lot on the pre-show as like that's being enhancement talent in a way. Obviously he's had multiple matches, probably CM Punk, but yeah, I've got maybe start using him a bit more on the main show maybe if I wanted to like use him as to enhance somebody else. So, but yeah, I'm happy with that.
Okay, let's open the show then with the World Heavyweight Champion. Off the back of Backlash, he's looking for a new opponent. He seems to have found one. 90 for this is very good.
Well,
very
you know why?
good.
We know why that is because of Scott Steiner is obviously involved. But anyway, so yeah, 90, loving that. So obviously this is going to start off with, as you got to start the show, champs on a high, beat Triple H, didn't have his finishing move, but he still won. So he comes to the ring, he's pretty happy. He talks about how gives Triple H some props, like kind of says, "You pushed me to my limit and brought a different side to Eddie Guerrero." But this wouldn't have lasted long, and kind of feels he has to move on, and opens a challenge to anyone out there, to basically, if you want to challenge the Tino Heat, you've got to step up. You got better step up and face me. You know, this is a confident Eddie Guerrero now. Obviously, he's got big wins at WrestleMania, and it was basically the start of the year. So this guy is very confident, Eddie Guerrero. But then obviously Mark Henry or with Teddy Long in tow, I haven't put it here, but Scott Steiner all turned up, and obviously, a kind of thing I'm going for here is kind of like they come out and basically like Mark Henry goes, "You are a great champ, but you're not unbeatable." Because do you remember that this is Teddy Long saying this man Mark Henry a couple of weeks ago, it beat you.
Oh, we all remember.
Oh yes, we all did. I told you there was a reason why I did it, not because I'm a horrible human being. I had a reason for it. Yeah, you know what that proves, Eddie. This is proper heel stuff here when he goes, you can't beat this man. You can't beat Mark Henry. Obviously, we take away the idea that Triple H helped him, but we don't. You know, heels, they have selective memory.
Heels line.
Yeah, surprisingly. Yes, you know what? Like you can't beat Mark Henry. So just what you do, take that title, just give it to us now, because if you faced us, you wouldn't win. And then you just got Eddie. You got obviously the win in the ring at this point as well. Obviously, and then he kind of smiles. Like kind of the classic Eddie smile, and then just attacks Mark Henry. Proper takes back, because obviously Eddie Guerrero's not going to have anyone talking down to him after the kind of stuff he's been going through the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months. Then obviously, and obviously it's similar to your thing with the 2-on-1. Obviously it's Mark Henry and Scott Steiner 2-on-1. Scott Steiner hits. I always forget his finisher. I think it's like a gorilla press, like kind of press slam type thing, isn't it? If I remember Scott Steiner. Hits on Eddie and then grabs the mic. And sits there and says, "Yeah, if you want to face Mark Henry, you've got to get through me first." To obviously set up in the main event. But basically, the whole idea of the story is basically, can Eddie beat Mark Henry? Mark Henry's laid down the challenge.
Wow.
And there is a bit of doubt. Can he beat a guy as big and as strong as the world's strongest man?
Well, we'll see.
Don't know.
Can he beat Scott Steiner in the main event? We'll find out. Before that, Kurt Angle comes to the ring, and the announcers tell us that after the loss to Edge, Kurt Angle wants to prove himself. So, Kurt Angle is having an open challenge to anyone in the locker room. The man who answers, the one, the only, Billy Gunn for a 76.
Yep, I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, again, it's like, I think with Triple H, say if we had like a couple of weeks ago, that got a good score as well. But yeah, this is as you expect. It's kind of nothing really more to talk about the match in general. It's kind of a situation of Angle's just trying to. Obviously, I've kind of been really bad to Angle. He's pretty much lost every match he's been in. So kind of need to pick him up, build him up, and obviously a nice open challenge always in theory does good for the person that does the open challenge. So yeah, gets the win. Thought Billy Gunn would be a good opponent. Yeah, 76, happy with that. But again, as always with most of these things, it's what happens next that's the thing.
And you're 67.
That's
a disappointment.
Yeah, a little bit, but you know what? This feud is a strange one. Probably for the fact that 1 minute they can hit like, was it 80s? I think like 88, I think last, and then 1 minute they can do this. It's fine. I wasn't expecting like some amazing stuff from here. Probably because, no offense, Billy Gunn, but it's probably why him there might have brought it down. But the way I've set this up is like Curtis grabs the mic and says, "Did you see what I just did to Billy Gunn? You were lucky against me." And obviously everyone's like, "But he beat you twice." But again, as we're pointing out, you know, he was lying. But yeah, against me. But because of this, you've unleashed a new Kurt Angle, and you better wish you hadn't, because this is more intense. Kurt Angle. So after that, obviously you got Kurt Angle just goes after Billy Gunn, hits another Angle slam, locks in the ankle lock, makes him tap. You know, proper. You know, even does the thing where he's proper locks in the ankle locks. You know, Billy Gunn is basically tapping so much. Then obviously, as you expect, Eddie, was it? Not Eddie. No, one guy. Edge comes out, makes the save. So obviously, Kurt gets out of there, and yeah, so kind of the story is this feud is far from over. So yeah, pretty simple stuff.
And during all this, Chuck Palumbo sat engagement 67 disappointment. Molly Holly cuts a promo on. Well, he's talking to Gail Kim backstage. We've skipped that.
Okay, I guess I got to do double duty in this one. Anyway, so
you can explain the angle that you had written. I don't. My eyes skipped it. It's fine. Go on.
That's okay. It's cool. So what I did before in the backstage segment is Molly Holly kind of talking down to Gail Kim, obviously because she's kind of taking the spotlight from Molly Holly. She's supposed to be helping Molly Holly, not making her own path and her own career. So she's kind of really annoyed with Gail Kim. Kind of, you know, you're supposed to weaken Trish. You're not supposed to earn her respect, take the spotlight from myself. You forget you work for me, type stuff. So kind of as kind of punishment in a way for her, the way she's been acting, says, okay, you've got to go and tonight you've got to take out Victoria. We've got to end this once for all. You've got to take out Victoria. Gail Kim's kind of like, you know, like if your boss is like saying you got to do this and you don't want to do it. So you're like, okay. So this sets up this match for obviously 453. Nothing really surprising in I putting this in the match as well. It's kind of similar to Gail Kim looks great, shows that she's really on a women's wrestler on the rise. But obviously Victoria's got a little bit more experience in a sense. Hits, I think they put a submission there, but Willow's Bell. I think that's what I always forget. That's a finisher, I think.
Yeah.
Hits that, gets the win. But the next thing is, afterwards, Victoria's got to.
Have this bit.
Do you have this bit? Good. Okay. So yeah, so obviously the next bit is Victoria. Victoria gets the mic. She's obviously got Molly Holly kind of irate. She was obviously Molly Holly was at the top of the stage, just kind of watching. Obviously the match. Obviously, hopefully that her teammate would take her out, but it didn't work. Obviously, she's at the top of the stage, and she kind of. Victoria goes to the top and on the mic and says, "So you send your goons to try and take me out." And let's be honest, Gail Kim, she's better than you in the ring, and they're just a better human being. You know, you've tried every trick in the book to take me out. You know, you've tried everything, but your time is up. I've just got back from Mick's office before this match, and in 2 weeks, you and me are facing off in a steel cage match. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And then you just got Molly Holly at the top, like basically like furious or like panicking, like, oh no, I'm in a steel cage with that crazy person. This is not going to end well.
She's got a problem. Speaking of Mick Foley, though, the former United States champion Christian wants his rematch. 88, Christian and Mick Foley is the partnership that keeps on giving, and I hate it.
No. but if I know you, you hate it, but you kind of love it though, don't you? You kind of do. But because it's kind of work. This is I've got Christian's. He's got to be the SmackDown MVP of SmackDown. It's just like he's really impressed since the start of Save. But yeah, obviously this is kind of segment as you would kind of expect. Christian, as a these days, politely goes in the Mick Foley's office, kind of demanding his rematch. Because when you think about it, since he lost his title, he hasn't actually had a one-on-one rematch. Kind of, he's kind of what was it? He had to do. He lost his title in a ladder match. Then he went against it, and was it a fatal? Was it a triple threat? So he didn't even get pinned. So, in a sense, he didn't get his rematch in a sense of one-on-one. So Mick's laying down the rules like how this works. You don't demand rematch title matches. You earn them. But then obviously you got RVD. Obviously the cliche of wrestling. Mysteriously the champ walks in or probably overhears this. Obviously RVD comes in saying basically what I just said. Like, yeah, it's true. I haven't pinned you to win the title. We haven't faced one-on-one. But this feud, this rivalry we have, it has to end. So Mick, make it official. Me versus Christian for United for the United States Championship. Mick's like, okay, if it's the match you want, but one more thing. Chris Jericho is banned from ringside. So this is so it sets up later on in the night. I've got a title match, and it's a one-on-one, no interference, nothing. It's going to be a feud ender. So
feud ender. What about a feud starter though? Triple H and Lance Storm. Love it.
84. I'm liking that. I got to be honest with Lance Storm. It's been a very slow build, and I think eventually it's going to work. But this is obviously got Triple H comes to the ring, kind of obviously comes in saying wants to taking the time to talk about what's next for the obviously this what King of Kings. Triple H, obviously he says the world title will be mine once again, but maybe I need a more long-term plan. Maybe I need to think of a new strategy. But what people forget, you do know who I am. I'm not like any other wrestler. I'm the game. Maybe Eddie's the champ, but I run this show. And if anyone dares, interferes, or speaks to me in disrespect again, I will end them. And then guess what happens? Someone interrupts him. So I always love that in wrestling. It's like, don't interrupt me, and then guess what happens? Someone interrupts them.
So it's almost as if it's scripted.
I know, isn't it? But anyway, so last time comes out and he says, says, yes, you are one of the best. But Eddie Guerrero, if he proved anything, that's if you get enough momentum, and you've got the people behind you, you can be beaten. And he proved everyone in that locker room, that if you step up, you can be beaten. So obviously, I like the idea of Eddie's inspired people in the back to kind of look at Triple H like he's not this guy, the Reign of Terror Triple H. Everyone's like, oh, who can beat him? He's beatable. Eddie Guerrero's proved it, not once, but twice. So obviously people like Lance Storm, that you could say similar build, similar size in a way, could like, if Eddie Guerrero can do it, Lance Storm has definitely got the ability to do it. Obviously Triple H laughs him off and says, laughs off saying, you've got a personality of wet blanket. You're no one. I've got better things to do. Waste my time with you. And I like so Triple H walks away, but then Lance Storm turns away and then slaps him in the face. And obviously, then after this, Triple H didn't like it. It starts in a brawl, referees, security, all that kind of stuff, breaks them up. So this is going to turn into an intense feud. But yeah, Triple H talks a big talk, but I don't think he's as he's not as, people aren't as scared of him as they used to be probably when he started this when he came to SmackDown. So yeah, this is an interesting feud. I'm intrigued to see where it goes.
Okay, in ring
he gets a good score, but 84.
Yeah, it's a better score than I expected. In ring debut then of CM Punk on the main show, so to speak. against Val Venus gets 56.
That's
But
good.
it's about what
Really
he was
good,
getting on
actually.
the pre-show, so it's similar. So that's what you kind of wanted, right?
Yeah, exactly. Especially for a debut. Obviously, I don't want it to be 50s, kind of mid 50s. Hopefully, over time, it's build up to a good, 60, 65 or something like that. But at the moment, good, solid debut here. Nothing really crazy. Here, this is as the old adage says: don't tell people how great they are, how good they are. Show people how great they are. So obviously, this is a kind of situation where it says he wins by submission, but obviously, I like the idea that if you're going to make a debut, what a spectacular freaking finish would you have with the Pepsi plunge? That's basically a pedigree off the top rope.
No, you've got to stop using that now. There's no way he's going to be allowed to use that anymore. That's Triple H's move.
Yeah, well, maybe that starts a feud. Maybe that's the next build up, and then
Oh,
we're going to
God.
Triple H have the match, and CM Punk can get the win like years before he did.
No, Triple H is
But,
going to win and CM Punk's going to quit. That's what's going to happen.
It's my save that.
You
it's
quit
my
on
fancy
me,
booking.
Punk. You quit on me.
I still love that MPF stuff.
Go on. Go on.
Anyway, 56. I'm happy there. But again, as always, that's to show how good the CM Punk. But again, it's what happened next. What happened next is the interesting stuff. Yeah, pretty happy with that. That's pretty good. So yes, this is kind of as you expect. All the Paul Heyman guys. That's at the moment. I'm going to call him that. Paul grabs the mic and says, "Like, let me introduce you to my new client, the second city saint, the only wrestler in WWE to be straight edge, CM Punk." Obviously, just everyone is clapping him because obviously it's a new member and he's done really well. Then you obviously got, and then after this you got Paul Heyman kind of goes like, I got you again, didn't I? I got you. I always have a plan. Did you really think I would let those tag team titles go to those damn Dudleys? And the funny thing that we beat them in their own match that they made famous. Outstanding. So, this is a reminder to all you tag teams or any wrestler who wants to face my clients. Don't doubt my genius mind, and I always have a plan. And we will always go to the extreme in any way, because my name is Paul Heyman, and this is the newly named Extreme Alliance.
Like it. Not a dangerous
Yeah.
alliance, it's an extreme alliance. Love it. 69, really good seeing you got CM Punk in there. Backstage, Lita is going to promo and she's interrupted by Jacqueline for a 51.
This is that's really good actually. This is kind of a simple thing with especially Lita backstage being asked about what's next for Lita, as you expect. Kind of similar to what we've been asked before. She admits hasn't been a great couple of weeks. But if there's anything about Lita, she always knows how to go extreme and to find our way back to the top. It's going to be a long road, but at some point, I will be your new WWE Women's Champion. Obviously, after this, Jacqueline interrupts, says, "That sounds great. People like us always overlooked. What about we face off to prove to everyone out there how good we both are?" And obviously, both faces at this point shake hands, sets up a match. That is next.
Spoilers. Lita versus Jacqueline then gets a 58.
Yeah, again, 440 R. I mean, I always liked that he always get high 50s, mid 60s, because that's kind of where they are at the moment. But yeah, so obviously in this match, obviously Lita gets the win. Obviously, it says here doesn't actually say how she finishes, but I was hoping that.
I don't know why it doesn't say. You've got written down here Lita getting the win with a moonsault from the top, so clean kind of win for Lita. But Jacqueline has a new attitude with this one, right?
It's kind of obviously as it says there, kind of gone left field. Jacqueline's turned heel. She turned heel, obviously after. We'll obviously wait and see that. But
too many of your recent turns have been shocked with little build-up behind them. The fans have become jaded. The turn didn't go down particularly well.
All right. It was a risk, but
Yeah.
well, we have to go with it. I mean, I just want to do something different with Jacqueline because she's never really had a character, really, has she? Like, not in a harsh way, but never really had like. She's really good worker, but they never gave her like a proper character in a sense. But the way I've done this is obviously after matches are stared down and shaking each other hands, so it's not just all of a sudden it just turns on her. It's kind of like, oh, respect, and then all of a sudden Jacqueline's a tax leader. We're gonna go proper over the top where we're gonna say like she gets a steel chair and then smacks it in Lita's face, like proper old school. Like if that doesn't get, obviously in this game says it doesn't get heat, but in real life someone hits someone straight in the face and all four with a steel chair, that usually gets heat, right?
Yeah. Should we do post-match segment 56?
Yeah, so I probably should have pointed that out. So distracted about it. Yeah, and obviously you just got, obviously you could sit there and say, well, she lost, so why is she doing this? But again, so yeah, she lost the match, but her actions says she's a woman not to be messed with. She grabs the mic and just says, everyone knows I'm the best wrestler here, women's wrestler here. Trish, this has been a long time coming. And you're the women's champion, but if I have to beat you and win that title to prove that I'm the best women's wrestler here, so be it. So obviously at some point obviously keep stacking Lita as well, just to put a bit of insult to injury and kind of basically it's a simple challenge. Yeah, she turned heel and said, I'm fed up of being overlooked. I challenge you for the women's title, and then we can find out who truly is the best wrestler here.
Is she going to steal the theme song? So she's, I ain't the lady to mess with. Oh, that one. She have that one.
Well, don't know, but I like the idea. Nick it, why not?
Okay, RVD could have put on ahead of his US title defense against Christian for an 87. RV goddamn D.
Yeah, RVD's starting to hit his stride now that I'm really liking. And just at the right time as well. Just I'm really happy with RVD at the moment. It's just a simple problem here. But I've been asked, well, why did you accept this match? It's a simple thing. He's fed up with Christian. This battle we've been having for basically since I arrived on this brand. It needs to end.
Since day one.
Yeah. I know.
Go on, carry on.
So obviously tonight has to end, but the result would be the same. I will still be your United States champion. But yeah,
let's find out. RVD, Christian, US title on the line. These guys don't have good chemistry, so temper your expectations now. Who will walk out champion? Your winner, Stu,
and still United States champion RVD for an 82. I'm
better than I thought it'd be if you look at the in-ring performances. They really don't have chemistry.
But the good beautiful thing is it's the final match, so I mean we have to look into it. Obviously, it's kind of because of that I've been trying to tiptoe around the idea for a while for the US title scene. If you haven't guessed,
you must be glad because it literally just worked chemistry. So it brought both guys back down so much. Imagine doing that on the pay-per-view. You'd been so gutted.
Well, to be fair, that's why on the first pay-per-view we did. That's why I changed it. Because this is supposed to be a series of matches, but it didn't work out. So the thing, but again, had to end it then. Have to end it. So I could take about an 82. It's still pretty good. I'm intrigued to see if this is like the best match they've done so far. I've been intrigued to see. But yeah, this kind of match was, as you expect. Maybe this says they've got no chemistry, but the way I write it, they do. I mean, I know it doesn't work that way, but this way I write.
I know it says it's an 82, but it was a 99 in my mind.
I know, but it's a funny thing is it would be a better match in real life, though. I would think anyway. I think they had great feuds. I can't remember. I'm gonna have to look it up.
The fact you can't remember isn't good. Go on, carry on. Tell us the finish.
Okay, so basically it's back and forth match. Christian gets the picture, gets a new fall. Obviously at this point Christian gets as you expect, his heel goes to get the US title. Obviously, let's point out obviously the ref's down. Let's go by that. The ref's down, goes to get US title. Tries to hit RVD with it, misses. Obviously, then we have RVD kind of kicks the title in the face of Christian. He's out, and then obviously the ref just comes to RVD goes to the top. It's a 5-star frog splash. Gets the 1, 2, 3, and it's still you're the United States champion.
So, yeah, RVD wins with the Dave Meltzer splash for the 82. Post-match, RVD has a new challenger for 87.
Lovely.
Van
That
Dam.
that holds optimistic. I'm very optimistic if that's what they get into for a segment. I mean, but yes, obviously after this, it's obviously didn't kind of mention it in the stuff, in the Paul Heyman stuff and all that. With the but kind of a few goal here is obviously we got Shelter Benjamin coming in, kind of attack, hits RVD with the tag team title belt straight to the face, takes him out, make it a bit more properly, make it a bit more intense. That obviously this busts RVD open, because obviously they used to do that in 04. I've watched it. They used to do that. Title belts used to bust people open. Not so much now, but back then it did. So, and obviously we end with that segment of kind of, it's holding both US title in one hand, tag team championship in the other. So, you can probably see why he's either turning into the belt collector or maybe Shannon Benjamin's proving that he is the gold standard. So, so an 87, that's kind of, I didn't know what to expect with that. I'm exceeding my expectations a little bit.
Well. Very, very good. Eddie Guerrero promo ahead of the main event against Scott Steiner for an 86. This show's coming together at the end.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm hoping to, again, it's up the main event. Of course it was Scott Steiner's in it. We don't know what's happening. But so obviously we've got Eddie talking about what happened, start the show. Eddie Guerrero was basically, I'm a Guerrero. I'm all about overcoming the odds. And then kind of said, Scott Steiner, I'm gonna overcome you. I'm gonna beat you. And then next, I'm going after your boy, your friend, Mark Henry. So let's
find out. Does he beat Scott Steiner? Main event: Eddie and Scott Steiner for an 84. Very good for considering you got Scott Steiner in there. Very good.
Yeah. Funny thing is, it's actually for me that's a disappointment, but that's it. Scott Steiner, that's it. You're done. I'm joking. There's nothing really much here in a match anyway. It's kind of Eddie kind of throws. Eddie gets thrown around by Scott Steiner, uses his strength, that kind of stuff. But Eddie wins with. Eddie gets back into it, hits the frog splash, not submission there. But nothing really crazy. It wouldn't be that kind of match with it, really. So, but yeah, Eddie gets the win. I would never do that.
After the match, Eddie seems to have impressed Mark Henry for an 85 for the. No, I'm not going to freak out. It's fine.
Okay, are you sure? Sure. I mean, you're okay.
I'm quietly annoyed, but.
We'll talk about it in a minute. We'll talk about it, we'll talk about it. But so obviously we got it's basically a situation of a simple end to the show here. Eddie kind of after a big win, kind of looks up at the stage, obviously holding the title. You got Mark Henry at the top, who put a Teddy Long, just clapping, kind of smiling, kind of Mark Henry's confident. He's like he thinks it's easy against Eddie Guerrero. That's never a good mindset to have against Latino Heat. But yeah, it's kind of ends with him at the top of the ramp smiling, Eddie Guerrero holding his title up high, kind of just a bit of symbolism that this is going to be the world title feud. So that's the end of the show. So
86 then to be. I'm pretty confident you've done that, but this game can throw a spanner in the works. Smackdown gets an 86.
So we got. Oh God, is it going to be one of those months again?
It's probably about right actually, because I had a 95 angle, whereas you've got nothing above a 90. But yours is probably a more consistently good show than mine. But it's about right. 86. We are level for the first week. We both have gone a bit more build month. You know what I mean? Mark Henry in the main event feud. I've got JBL in the main event feud. You're trying to build people like Punk, where I'm trying to build people like Mark Jindrak and stuff like that. So it's about the same, and the score shows it. A draw for the first one.
I mean, when I think about it, I think it's just because, again, it's like, when you think about it, main event has, we've both gone for like a main event we thought could work, and it's done good scoring, but it's kind of...
You did the right thing with Eddie and Scott Steiner. That's your best match of the night, and it was the right main event. I'd argue Angle and Gunn was a little low, and that's probably brought it down more than you'd think. Everything else hit it how you'd expect it to hit. It's a good show still. It's a good show. It's a good building show. 0-0. We go again.
Let's not have this. Let's not have a situation where it's going to be an entire month where just draw. So hopefully this is just the first week, and then the second week, this is where the school win finally happens. So I'm happy with that. I've got to be happy with that. I mean, we're both getting like 86, high 80s. It's got to be good. So I'm happy with that.
All right then, first week in the books and a draw. Look, we're both taking different tacks this month. We're trying to build up the rest of the roster a little bit while also accepting that you need a good main event to bring the show rating. We've both done that. An 86. Yeah, a draw. It's about right. Let's see how we go again on Wednesday, because that should be a big one for week 2. If you like the video, drop a like and subscribe to the channel for a whole lot more. Thank you for all the support on all the videos lately. AEW, WWE, you've been fantastic. And until next time, peace.